Hello YouTube, it's Zulu Boy Mechanic here, aka SL Auto. Alright, so it's about just after 1 a.m. right now, and anyways, I thought I would do this job now and get some extra hours in the morning to rest, so I don't have to be up so early to get this car going for my customer. So anyways, this is a 2011 VW Routan 3.6 engine, as you can see right there. So the issue with this bad boy here is here's some engine oil leak. It's actually leaking heavy, and it's quite common on this. The engine here on this VW is same as the one that you see on the Dodge Grand Caravan, I think 11 and up. They're pretty much, you know, the setup is the same. So the oil leak is actually coming from the oil cooler housing. I don't know if you can see right there. That's where the oil filter is, and it's an entire assemble which is underneath right here. So oil cooler, you've got coolant line going in there, and you have some ports for the oil as well. Once I have it out, I'll show you. So here's a picture of one of those assembles. I've done this one job before. It's about 3 hours, I would say, to do this job. So I'm hoping to be out of here by 4 in the morning and get some sleep. So anyways, this one I changed it not because it was leaking on the O-rings. As you can see, there's 5 of them, the ports right there. And then of course from behind here, that's your coolant line goes there, and of course you have that oil pressure sensor, which is right there as well, just below my wrist. And the cooler is that piece right there. So this one, what happened actually, one of my customer was trying to do oil filter change, and they over tightened this. So the next day when they went, or the next time they went to do their oil change, they went to remove the oil filter, and this whole thing just cracked. And of course, you know, when you start the car, running the car, the oil was just leaking here. And unfortunately, there's no way to replace just, you know, the filter housing. It's a one piece. And so this person right now, their issue is one of these O-ring. I'm not too sure which one yet, but one of them is actually leaking, and it's common on these cars, including Dodge Grand Caravan, you know, Jeep Wrangler. It's a common thing. I've done this before. So anyways, I was too nice to this customer and told them that in order for me to get this job done, I'm going to be removing quite a lot. I'll be also accessing easily their spark plugs. So I asked them the last time they were done to save money. I told them, listen, you can get this done, you know, at no additional cost. So I'm more charging them just for the labor to replace that oil cooler. So anyways, they bought themselves some mobile. I know this guy always likes to put synthetic on his car, and some iridium long life spark plugs, and the new O-rings that I will have to replace on that complete assemble. And of course, remember, when you do your oil change, try to put a new oil filter. I know some people don't do it, but try your best. Anyways, let me get going here. I will show you later on how everything looks like once I have the top apart. All right, I'm almost there, but so I have to go. This is what I'm after, right underneath. All right. So this is where I am now. The fuel line and the rail for 3 injectors at the front, right there, and there's another one, and there's another one, and there'll be 3 right behind there, same thing. So right there, and another one is right here, and the last one. Okay, so this is free. Of course, I have to take care of the O-rings, make sure I don't pinch them or anything, because I'm gonna reuse them. And all I need to do right now, I mean, just disconnect that, because I don't want to break that fuel line. So what happens is, as I do my jobs, if there's multiple work to be done on the same spot, I prefer completing something at least, in case if I end up getting tired. So what I've decided to do was replace the spark plugs. So the old ones, they're out already, right there. Well, they were starting to, you know, let some gas out, but the tips, I mean, they were still there, but you know, it was time, especially when you have to do a job in this area. You might as well just do the spark as well for them. So, you know, the coils, no oil on the tips or anything, they look good. So I did use my little compressor there and just clean up the area, as you would want to do that, because what you're doing here, of course, is more to help your engine. You don't want any dirt, anything to fall inside the spark holes. So yeah, I will continue now and take care of those 3 behind there. 1, 2, 3. Right there. Okay, and then once that's done, then I will continue with my main job. All right, so all 6 spark plugs have been replaced, and then here I am. I don't have a camera person yet, so one hand is doing some work, the other one is also doing some work in different ways, but holding the camera. So yeah, that's out. All right, part of the intake. Of course, it's a V6, so there'll be 6 of those ports. All right, so you want to place everything somewhere where it's clean. I wish my bench was empty. I would put it there, but right there. So right now what I need to do is to cover all these ports, because you don't want anything, of course, to fall inside there. I mean, you know, you still have the valves, if you can see right there. Those are valves that you see there. Anyways, you'd get some clean rags, wipe the surface first, each port, and then just cover the port so nothing falls inside. And yeah, so the next job will be to go after this guy. As you can see, I don't know if you can see some oil. I mean, once I move that up, I'll be able to show you most of this oil that led to my good friend here to bring the car over to me. All right, right there. So she's all free now. Just held by four long bolts. I don't know if you can see the valley there. There's quite a lot. That's oil right there. So I looked very close, and yes, the oil was actually coming from the O-ring, from what I saw. And as I said, this is a common thing, and I don't see any crack or anything on the housing. And looked at the head and the valve cover. Everything is dry, so there's no signs of any oil leaking going down. So anyways, I don't really have to disconnect that coolant line right there. I can leave that there, and all I need is to find something to move this out of place, because we're reusing it. So I'm just gonna clean it as much as I can, put new O-rings, and try to take care of that oil that's on the valley. So I have this. It's a fluid transfer pump that I bought from, well, some call it crappy tire, but I still call it Canadian Tire. It's good to support our local stores. So Canadian Tire, I've used this thing before, doing some manual transmission, just putting fluid back after replacing the transmission. Honestly, it worked great for me, and this is about 1.5 liters. So most of these little cars that I tend to do, like Honda Civics and Accord and Mazda 3s, they take about 2 to about maximum 3 liters of tranny fluid. So this would be perfect. So that means I have to fill it, 2 times, and that's it, and it works great. So I'm just going to use this, siphon that fluid underneath, clean everything, put new O-rings, and then put everything back, and call it a day. Anyways, I hope you guys are enjoying watching my videos, and above all, I give thanks to God, who always gives me these jobs, and thank you for supporting my business. God bless.